They help people like me every day.
Call the Mike Slocum Law Firm on the Hurt Line right now.
Tonight, several developing stories as we come on the air. The White House firestorm. President Trump now weighing in on his former aide, now out of a job, amid allegations of domestic abuse. The president saying his former aide says he's innocent. It's been a tough time for him. And ABC News learning Chief of Staff John Kelly has expressed to President Trump his willingness to resign. The White House tonight responding. The massive winter storm hitting tonight and turning deadly, slamming Chicago, Detroit, major travel hubs, and moving east. And another major storm right behind it. Breaking late today, the new and alarming news on the deadly flu in this country and the new concern tonight about a second wave of flu that could be coming. The deadly police shootout in a suburban neighborhood, one officer killed, 2 deputies wounded. And let the games begin, and the moment, Kim Jong-un's sister and what she did, the American star and the fall, and the flag bearer braving the elements, making headlines yet again.
This is ABC World News Tonight with David Muir.
Good evening, and it's great to have you with us to finish out the week. And what a week inside the West Wing. Tonight, President Trump speaking publicly for the first time about the domestic abuse scandal involving his former close aide, Rob Porter, and allegations now made by Porter's 2 ex-wives. The president today praising Porter's work, wishing him well, telling reporters, quote, he says he's innocent, and I think you have to remember that. The president adding it's been a tough time for Porter. White House Communications Director Hope Hicks, who has been romantically linked to Porter, was right there in the Oval Office as the president weighed in today. And late today, sources telling ABC News that Chief of Staff John Kelly has now expressed to President Trump his willingness to resign over his handling of the scandal. ABC senior White House correspondent Cecilia Vega leading us off.
With his White House under fire today, President Trump breaking his silence, praising his former staff secretary Rob Porter, who resigned amid allegations he abused both of his former wives.
But we certainly wish him well. It's a obviously tough time for him. He did a very good job when he was in the White House, and we hope he has a wonderful career, and hopefully he will have a great career ahead of him. But it was very sad when we heard about it, and certainly he's also very sad. Now, he also, as you probably know, he says he's innocent, and I think you have to remember that. He said very strongly yesterday that he's innocent.
While the president talked about the tough time for Porter, no mention of the women. Porter's 2 ex-wives who went public with their accusations of verbal and physical abuse, one releasing this photo of a black and blue eye, she says, from Porter's punch. As President Trump spoke right there in that room, Communications Director Hope Hicks, who is romantically linked to Porter, and Chief of Staff John Kelly, who was brought in to restore order in the West Wing. But Kelly reportedly knew about the abuse allegations against Porter for months. And sources telling ABC News the president is furious with how both aides handled the West Wing crisis. Hicks, those sources say, helped write the administration's initial public statements defending Porter.
The president and chief of staff have had full confidence and trust in his abilities and his performance.
When the story first broke, Kelly called Porter a man of true integrity and honor. But tonight, sources tell ABC News that within the past 24 hours, Kelly told the president he would be willing to resign. They say the president has spoken to confidants about possibly replacing Kelly, including gauging businessman and longtime friend Tom Barrack's interest in the job. Barrack said he's not interested. This as Kelly does some damage control of his own, sending this letter to staffers saying the White House takes matters of domestic violence very seriously. And in a meeting first thing this morning, the Washington Post says Kelly told staffers to say he took action to remove Porter within 40 minutes of learning the ex-wives' allegations were credible. But Porter's ex-wives tell ABC News they told the FBI about his alleged abuse last January when they were interviewed as part of his White House security clearance. His second wife, Jenny Willoughby, says she told them everything.
I told them all of the details of my marriage, including verbal and emotional abuse.
The Washington Post reporting White House counsel Don McGahn first learned of the abuse allegations around the time of the president's inauguration. Porter denies abusing his ex-wives, saying these outrageous allegations are simply false. I took the photos, and the reality behind them is nowhere close to what is being described.
Well, we wish him well.
This is not the first time the president has come to the defense of a man accused of violence against women. He endorsed Alabama Senate candidate Roy Moore in the face of multiple sexual misconduct accusations.
What do you say to women?
Roy Moore denies it. That's all I can say. He denies it. And by the way, he totally denies it.
More than a dozen women have accused the president himself of sexual misconduct. He's branded all of them liars. And today, he had nothing but good wishes for Rob Porter.
But we absolutely wish him well. Did a very good job while he was at the White House. Thank you very much, everybody. Thank you.
All right, so let's get to Cecilia Vega with us live tonight at the White House. And Cecilia, you and the team first reporting that Chief of Staff John Kelly expressed a willingness to resign to the president, and you're learning there's already a short list of possible replacements.
David, some big names being kicked around here. Among these possible names, Economic Advisor Gary Cohn, Budget Director Mick Mulvaney, and North Carolina Congressman Mark Meadows. And as we reported, President Trump, of course, gauging the interest of some others.
And Cecilia, the other major issue still out there, we know that Rob Porter was working with a temporary security clearance because of those accusations against him. And more than a year into this administration now, he's not the only one in the West Wing who still had not been granted full security clearance.
Yeah, David, and the White House is refusing to provide a specific number on how many people are still using this temporary pass. But our sources say that Jared Kushner, the president's own son-in-law, is among them.
All right, Cecilia Vega, who's been following this story all day today. Cecilia, thank you. We are also following the major winter storm unfolding at this hour. Friday night, just heading into the weekend, it's slamming to Chicago, Detroit, major travel hubs. Nearly a foot of snow in Chicago, in fact. Police say at least one person was killed in a deadly highway pileup near Flint, Michigan. That system then moving into the Northeast tonight into the weekend. And this evening, we are already watching another major storm right behind it. ABC's Alex Perez in Chicago tonight.
Tonight, danger on the highways. More than a dozen semis and more than 3 dozen vehicles in all involved in this chain reaction crash on I-94 in Kalamazoo County, Michigan. One person killed in this accident near Flint. Police outside Milwaukee posting this video warning about driving too fast on slippery roads. In Chicago, this group banding together to help a taxi driver stuck in the snow. The mayor with this message for residents.
I want to make sure, top priority, people safety.
For Chicago's fleet of 300 salt and plow trucks, it's been a non-stop operation, loading up with some 220,000 tons of salt, distributing it on the city streets.
Armies of snow plows and salt trucks are racing to clear and treat roads across the region. Back in Chicago, more than 1,000 flights canceled at the city's airports alone.
I checked before I came, my flight status was canceled, so I came anyways, hoping that something else would open up.
And David, those plows for now focusing on the main streets, but a lot of the smaller side streets like this one look like this is still buried in snow. Those crews will not be getting a break. More snow headed to the Midwest this weekend. David?
All right, Alex, thanks to you. Let's get right to senior meteorologist Rob Marciano live along New York's West Side Highway tonight because this system is moving east. And Rob, as you told us earlier, another storm system right behind it.
That's right, David. This second one is not going to be pretty, I promise you. First, let's get through this one. It's still snow flying across I-90 central New York back through Chicago, but another pulse of snow expected tonight. And a third one with the next system that's going to have a southern component. Look at this during the day tomorrow. Heavier rain across the Mid-South, the Tennessee Valley, the Cumberland Plateau, up the Appalachians, I-95 on Sunday, D.C., New York. Boston, heavy rain potentially flooding there. An additional 1 to 3 inches of snow in the areas that got snowed today. Big storm for the weekend. David?
All right, safe driving this weekend. Rob Marciano, thanks to you. Late today, the CDC out with new and alarming headlines involving the deadly flu, reaching near record levels in the U.S. And at this rate, it actually could break a record for hospitalizations. The CDC now reporting high flu activity in 43 states. The virus blamed for 10 more pediatric deaths, raising the number to 63 now. And a 58-year-old grandmother in Texas dying of the flu after coming down with the flu twice, different strains of it. And tonight, that new concern, could there be a second wave of the flu coming? Here's ABC's Eva Pilgrim.
Tonight, the flu season raging, and it's getting worse. That sobering number, 1 in 10 deaths in the U.S. last week due to flu or pneumonia. Doctors on the front lines at this ER in New York have seen the number of flu patients surge.
A few weeks back, it was maybe 25 to 30 patients a day. I think now we're getting up to more 40 to 50 patients coming in.
Already more than 17,000 hospitalizations nationwide, on track to break records. Angie Barwise from Texas got the flu around Christmas and got better. But a month later, the 58-year-old grandmother was in the ER with a different strain of the virus and died of complications.
I left for just a few minutes, thought everything was going to be okay, and I got a phone call that she had just passed.
Her family says she never got the flu shot. The CDC urging anyone who's recovered from the flu but never got the shot to get it as soon as they are better. Last week, 10 more children died of flu-related illnesses. So far, 63 this season. The CDC urging those with a mild case of the flu to stay home.
Don't pass your virus on to someone else. What's a mild illness for you could be a hospitalization or worse for somebody else.
Yeah, if we all just stay home and help each other on this one. Tonight, the CDC is also saying we could have a second wave of this flu, Eva.
That's right, David. There are multiple strains of the flu going around. The CDC now saying they're seeing a rise in the B strain of the flu. Doctors telling us even if you've had the flu, you should still get a flu shot. David.
All right, Eva, thank you. Next tonight, the unexpected resignation at the Justice Department. We're following at this hour. Rachel Brand, the number 3 official behind Attorney General Jeff Sessions and Deputy AG Rod Rosenstein, announcing today that she is now stepping down. Brand, who has only been in that role for about 9 months now. So what's behind this? Let's get right to ABC's Chief Justice correspondent Pierre Thomas with us live tonight. Pierre?
David, there's been a lot of concern inside the Justice Department and FBI about pressure from President Trump on the Russia investigation. As number 3 in command, Rachel Brand would have been the person to oversee the special counsel investigation if Deputy Attorney General Rod Rosenstein were to step down or be fired, since Attorney General Jeff Sessions has recused himself. Sources tell us that last year the president considered firing Rosenstein, but tonight we're told that Brand is leaving to take a job as a general counsel at a Fortune 50 company, David.
All right, Pierre Thomas, following developments from the Justice Department. Next tonight, the stock market ending the week with another wild ride today. The Dow rallying late today, though, gaining more than 330 points to finish, closing at 24,190. The Dow overall losing about 5% this week. We're also following late developments after a deadly police shootout near Atlanta. Authorities tonight say 1 officer was killed, 2 deputies wounded while serving an arrest warrant in Locust Grove, Georgia. The confrontation suddenly erupting into a gun battle. The suspect was killed. Police say one of the deputies wounded was saved by his bulletproof vest. Both of those wounded deputies are expected to survive. That's good news. Overseas tonight, an American athlete's taking center stage at the Winter Olympics in South Korea. The opening ceremony taking place today. Kim Jong-un's sister and what she did, and the fall for an American star. ABC's Matt Gutman at the Winter Games.
Most Olympics have avoided politics, but this morning, diplomacy was center stage. The show bombarding the crowd with messages of peace. North and South Korea marched together under the same flag, and hand in hand, members of the joint North-South women's hockey team charged up to light the Olympic flame. Kim Jong-un's trusted sister shaking hands with South Korea's president. She was seated right behind Vice President Mike Pence, but his office says he pointedly did not reach out to North Korea. And, of course, the athletes, the most ever at a Winter Games, including that huge American delegation. So much hope for Nathan Chen. ABC first profiled him when he was 8 years old.
Which Olympics are we going to see you in?
2018. How does anybody deal with the amount of pressure that you've had to deal with?
If you start thinking about the big thing, it just gets overwhelming, and you just got to focus on the little things that can take you there.
But on the ice today, he stumbled, aborted jumps, even fell, coming in 4th in team figure skating, but is still the favorite for gold in the individual events. At the opening ceremony, the wind chill dipped into the teens, and the question, would the Lode Tongan athlete repeat his shirtless performance from the Rio Games? The answer came out bearing a flag and nearly everything else, except for that grass skirt.
Now, that Tongan athlete was a lot hardier than the rest of us. It was brutally cold in that stadium, but organizers handed out these warming kits, which included heating seating pads. There were blankets, beanies. I, of course, have that fistful of hand warmers in my pocket right now. Now, the forecast for the next 2 weeks, David, a lot more cold.
Yes, the hand warmers definitely better than the grass skirt. Matt Gutman, our thanks to you again tonight. There's still much more ahead on World News Tonight this Friday. The new headline about ibuprofen tonight, what you need to know.